Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Business Talks. I don't know if you guys could see that on the corner of the screen. Let me check this out. Um, I don't know what that is, but anyway, put it in the chat. Let me know that you could hear me and see me. Um, I still I am still having problems with my camera. So if you see me looking up, I'm meant to look down, but my original camera is up there. Anyway, um really appreciate every single last one of you guys being here. Welcome to another episode of Business Talks. I am your host, Chawanne Burns. In today's episode, we're going to discuss Tiffany Henyard. Tiffany Henyard was served over the during the Thornton Township meeting. We do have some video clips I want to show you with that. And then I want to discuss Mayor Eric Adams. Eric Adams, Deputy Chief Mayor, she resigned yesterday. So we'll talk more about that, why she resigned, and also Kamala Harris. Kamala. I think she is going down in the polls. The more interviews she has, the worse her ratings are. Okay. So we'll discuss all that on today's episode of Business Talks. You guys stay tuned.
Little something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, is this what you call a bad? What? Is this what you call a bad? Looks a little something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, is this what you call a bad? What? Is this what you call a bad?
You guys put in the chat. Let me know you could hear me and see me. I see we have Kennard the DJ in the building. What is good? Celeste Hodges is in the building. What is good? Justin Thompson is in the building. What is good? Uh, I see we have B Wash Films. Talking to the mic, please. Okay, I am sorry. Maybe you can't hear me. I'm talking into the mic. um, oh, that's how far it goes. Anyway, Samuel Matthews, it's good to see you. What is good, everyone? Robert Fletcher, greetings from Central Florida. Hopefully, you are being safe in Florida. I know it's been impacted by Hurricane Milton. We do have a couple of stories that I want to cover in regards to that. Joe Smith, at the meeting, Tiff said there's a surplus of money, millions of dollars. Township money and the village money is different and separate. Yeah, we know that. Yeah, we know different and separate, but it's kind of, I would be very surprised that Tiffany Henyard managed the Thornton Township money properly and she failed to manage the village money properly. Usually doesn't happen. If you bad at managing money, you're just bad at managing money. Okay? That's basically what we could boil down that into a statement in a nutshell. Tiffany Henyard is bad at managing money and she likes to spend the money like it's her money and it's not, it's the taxpayers' money. Anyway, and we haven't had no accounting audit on the Thornton Township books. So we can't say they're in a surplus. And if it's coming out of Tiffany's mouth, it's probably a lie. We could just say that. Tiffany said it, it's probably a lie, okay? Because she lies a lot. Tyrone Price, Shawan, hello. Great show. Thank you. You guys, on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, let me just share this with you. If you are online, um, on, on on your drive to work or whatever, you could always tune in to my YouTube channel. My other YouTube channel is Chawanne Burns 2.0. We have a podcast called Unpopular Opinion, and I'm co-hosting, or I have a co-host. Her name is Super Producer. Her online platform, I guess, on YouTube is called All in the Queue. So we're on there Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Let me just make sure you guys can see this. Can you see this? I just want to switch users. Okay, yeah, just go to this particular channel. And subscribe or tune in Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Usually we start around 9:30. Today we talked about Sean Diddy Combs, Tiffany Henyard, um, Mayor Eric Adams, and some other stuff that's going on. Okay, so Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 9:30 a.m. Central or Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so let's get started with our first story. I do want to talk about Hurricane um, Milton, and we want to send our prayers out to all the individuals that have been affected by Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton. They're expecting a Milton to be just as catastrophic or even worse as Hurricane Helene. And they're saying it was supposed to lose its strength once it touched landfall, but it looks like it's not going to happen. It looks like it's just going to be just as strong as the previous hurricane. Now here is some CNN talking about it.
Perform.
You guys, let me know that you could hear this audio.
We are less than 24 hours away from one of the most powerful top 10 Atlantic Basin hurricanes to ever form that will impact western and southwestern portions of Florida. This did not weaken overnight, and those are sobering words because we're only a matter of hours until we experience tropical storm force winds in this region, and it's only a matter of hours before we start to see the water levels start to come up. The latest track from the National Hurricane Center does show a Category 4 major hurricane making landfall late tonight into early Thursday morning. We are less than 24 hours away from one of the most powerful top 10 Atlantic Basin hurricanes to ever form that will impact western and southwestern portions of Florida. This did not weaken overnight, and those are sobering words because we're only a matter of hours until we experience tropical storm force winds in this region, and it's only a matter of hours before we start to see the water levels start to come up. The latest track from the National Hurricane Center does show a Category 4 major hurricane making landfall late tonight into early Thursday morning. We are less than 24 hours away from one of the
So they're basically saying it's supposed to touch down in a couple of hours.
That will impact western portions of Florida. This did not weaken.
And hopefully you guys could hear that because on my audio is actually, I can't actually hear what they're saying. Anyway, there's been a lot of hoopla about if FEMA is actually getting aid to certain victims in the Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton. Now, Milton has not happened yet, but Peter Ducey went back and forth with Karine Jean-Pierre yesterday because they're claiming that they only had they're giving $750 to the victims of the hurricane, right? And Senator Mayorkas already had came out saying that they did not have enough money in the FEMA fund. Now the news media, this is mainstream media, even FEMA, they put a story on their website or a statement on their website saying, no, we have enough money. Well, it's not $750. It's based off of of it's based off the need of the person, so this, they're spreading misinformation. Now this is Corinne Jean Pierre discussing or actually dodging the question of Peter Doocy, and they go back and forth. Okay.
But instead, people want to do disinformation, misinformation, which is dangerous. Because then when folks on the ground hear that, they may not want to ask for the help that they need. That is there for them. That's our focus here.
But President Biden is fond of saying, show me your budget and I will tell you what you value. If he's got money for people in Lebanon right now, without Congress having to come back, what does it say about his values? There's not enough money right now for people in North Carolina who need it. That's not misinformation.
Wait, no, that is your whole premise of the question is misinformation, sir. What you do? Yes, it's misinformation.
Is there money to send to Lebanon right now?
I just mentioned to you that we provided more than $200 million to folks who are impacted in the area, and I just shared with you that people are deciding not to. People are deciding not to.
Wait. To Congress that there's not enough money to help people in North Carolina.
We're talking about the SBA disaster loan.
That's money for people in North Carolina.
And that's important, and people in North Carolina need that. Wait, this is nothing new. Peter, this is nothing new. Congress comes together, they provide money, millions of dollars, for disaster relief. We're asking them to do the job that they have been doing for some time.
From a letter that President Biden sent to Johnson, McConnell, Schumer, and Jeffries. The president's letter is not misinformation. Would you agree?
No, the way you're asking me the question is misinformation. There is money that we are allocating to the impacted areas, and there's money there to help people who truly need it. There are survivors who need the funding, and it's there.
That you don't like misinformation.
I actually said we have the money available to help survivors of Hurricane Helene and also Hurricane Milton. Now there's going to be a shortfall, right? Because we don't know how bad Hurricane Milton is going to be. And so we're going to need additional funding. That's
exactly what I just asked about. And you said it was misinformation. Yes.
What you're asking me is why Congress needs to come back and do their job. That's what you're asking me. Congress needs to come back and do their job and provide extra assistance, extra funding to disaster relief fund. That's what Congress needs to do, and we're going to continue to urge that. You may not want that, but that's okay. That's what this president wants, and that's what the vice president wants. Thanks, everybody.
Okay, so you seen that, you heard that. She's saying this is disinformation. We have enough money. And I just noticed in the chat, somebody said, oh yeah, they found $7 billion. Yeah, $7 billion. Yeah, they ended up finding it, and they was probably trying to allocate it to Lebanon or Israel or some other person other than our own people. But this is not disinformation. Your own elected, or I guess selected, vice president came out and did a statement saying, hey, FEMA is gathering the necessary or no door knocking in the area, and we're prepared to provide $750. Then you had Mayorkas come online and saying, hey, we wasn't expecting these hurricanes this year. Hurricanes happen every year. That's why we call it hurricane season. We're not expecting the hurricanes. And so we wasn't prepared to have the money, because we spent all the money on we spent all the money on what is it? We spent all the money on illegal migrants. Okay. They're not saying that, oh, we spent all the money on a prior hurricane, or because we had other natural disasters throughout the United States, like tornadoes or whatever. No, this dollars was allocated towards illegal migrants.
he says FEMA does not have the funds to make it through hurricane season. This despite Mayorkas's DHS having $640 million, now that's designated money, to help communities support illegal migrants. Chad Program is live from Capitol Hill. This is a debate that comes up now and again, but at this point, I would imagine it's going to have some real resonance.
Absolutely, Dana. There's a FEMA fund which addresses immediate needs. Now, FEMA has enough money to help with relief efforts after Hurricane Helene for now. But Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas says that will change.
We are meeting the immediate needs with the money that we have. We are expecting another hurricane hitting. We do not have the funds. FEMA does not have the funds to make it through the season.
The hurricane season runs through November 30th. Congress made sure FEMA had more than $20 billion in last week's emergency spending bill ahead of the storm. But last year, Congress awarded DHS $640 million to help communities provide shelter and aid to people in the country illegally. That's why there are questions about money for illegal immigration and hurricane relief.
So you heard. They have taken the FEMA Emergency Food and Shelter Program and over time siphoned off hundreds of millions of dollars into basically making it an illegal immigrant resettlement program.
Some may question money going toward illegal immigration when people in the South are struggling to survive following Helene. Republicans still criticize the Biden-Harris administration for how it handled the border.
The immigration policy is basically non-existent. They open the border, they're allowing everyone in, they put out the welcome mat, and the catastrophe that this has been to our country in every metric of public policy, with the fentanyl poisonings of being the leading cause of death for migrants age 18 to 49, the trafficking.
There are needs for the government to respond to older natural disasters. Expect Congress to greenlight extra disaster aid in a spending bill due around Christmas. And some lawmakers want to increase aid for illegal immigrants to $3 billion, that's with a B, dollars. Dana?
Chad Program on the Hill for us. Thank you.
So you heard that about FEMA. Now, then you had some people, posting on X saying, hey, this $750, I think they have to pay this back. I don't know how true this is. I went to the FEMA website and then they said they were denying the $750. They're denying that, we're not just going to give $750. It's based off what you need. And you can also apply for a SBA disaster loan. Okay. It says, does help from FEMA have to be paid back? No, in most cases, FEMA grants do not have to be paid back if you have insurance that covers your temporary housing. But ask FEMA to advance you some money to help you pay those costs while your insurance is delayed. And remember, we was discussing this yesterday. I told you guys when we had a natural disaster here and I made a FEMA claim, they paid for the damages that was done in our house, even though we had insurance, but our insurance didn't cover that particular damage because it doesn't cover. We're not in the flood zone, so why would they cover flooding? We had a flood in our basement. So they didn't cover all the damages, but we got some money back. We could have did an insurance claim, but since my husband is handy, he did most of the work, but we got the price of the materials back. We could just say that. It was a wash for us. We didn't make any money, but we didn't, if we would have hired somebody, of course, we would have been in the negative. I think we could have actually went back to FEMA and said, no, this is what we paid. I don't know if they would have went up on what they reimbursed us for, but anyway. So, and it's saying that you do have to pay it back if your insurance covers the benefits of what they covered for, i.e. shelter. Like if you had to shelter at a hotel, they will cover the hotel bill. And that's what I've known FEMA to do. Now, if they have the money or not, this is not misinformation or disinformation. We just heard Mayorkas come online saying, hey, we wasn't planning for all these disasters. We didn't know. We're not going to have enough money to cover all the natural disasters. We might have money right now, but eventually it's going to run out. That's basically what he's saying. Okay. So eventually that these FEMA funds will run out. Now you have Karine Jean-Pierre getting mad at Peter Doocy just for asking the question. And she called his question misinformation and disinformation, which is totally ludicrous. He's a reporter. A reporter can ask you a question, and if you don't like the question, just say, I don't like this line of questioning. People do it all the time. I don't like if they do it more often than what they did back in the day, but I don't like this line of questioning. This line of questioning seems like it's a personal attack. She could have said that, and then they would have been like, okay, how's this a personal attack on you? Because we're talking about FEMA and the victims. Like, come on now. And then you had your girl, Kamala Harris, kind of publicizing that, or that she's trying to, I guess, make the FEMA response like it's a political thing. And she was throwing darts or throwing shade at Donald Trump. Now, Donald Trump, maybe he mentioned, not maybe, he did mention this in some of his, he did a rally or a town hall meeting. I believe this was in Pennsylvania. It might have been Arizona, but whatever it was last week. And he did mention, hey, they're doing the people bad. No, it was in North Carolina, matter of fact. Oh, they've been doing the people bad in North Carolina. A lot of resources are not available, but we're going to, try our best. Okay, so he mentioned that. But, behind the scenes, a lot of people don't know President Trump, he is giving free rooms at the Trump Doral Hotel to the linemen, getting ready to help the people of Florida during the hurricane. Okay, so this is the picture that I'm showing you. These are the people that's coming out for the natural disasters, and he's giving hotel rooms free of charge. And also they're saying he also donated $25 million of his own money. Okay. And he actually initiated a GoFundMe raising money for hurricane relief. So he's donating money out of his own pocket. And then he's, using his businesses, his hotel, to allow people to stay there for free. How can you politicize that? Okay. You criticize Donald Trump because you think he wants all this power, and you criticize him for, I guess, doing all these shady business dealings. That's what they prosecuted him for. But this guy is not that bad if you're donating $25 million of your money. If he wanted not to do that, he doesn't even need to be in politics. I mean, he had all the fame. He already was rich and famous. So, he's causing more harm to himself just by running for office. He could have been off on a beach somewhere and retired, but no, he cares about the American people so much. You might not agree with that. Some people would say, oh, he just wants some fame and power. Like, how much fame and power can you get? He already got a lot of it. Okay, he has a lot of fame and power prior to his presidency. And actually, when his last term, he didn't even take a salary. He didn't take a salary. So anyway, that's what I have to say about that. You guys put in the chat, let me know what you think. I don't know if you guys could see this text that's over my head, but I can see it, and it's driving me crazy. You guys put in the chat, let me know what you think. Samuel Matthews, no real victims with Trump. Joe Biden and Kamala are making it political. Yes. Justin Thompson, don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button. Yuck flow to, but a lot of those people in the mountains don't have flood insurance. Exactly. A lot of them don't have. Oh, you know what? I meant to share this video before I go to the next story. This was really heartbreaking. Dr. Phil was in North Carolina. They was trying to put up a Starlink hub from Elon Musk. Him and his guys were out to install this Starlink. I guess they was trying to get a line of communication in the area for the people that lives in the rural area. And some lady, this lady ended up flagging them down. And so they came back to the house because she just had heart surgery. She lives alone and she didn't have any lights, no food, no water. Okay. So they came back and they hooked up a generator for her.
I don't have any water. I don't have any food. I don't have any ability to get anywhere. I had heart surgery 2 weeks ago.
If I had a generator and be one of them Coleman stoves, and some of them little things I can stay at home.
Well, we get you one. If you could just drop one off, but it's not that simple. You gotta get it and get a bright plug, hook it up to the breaker box, get the house turned on, hook it up to her well, get water going. We've already got a generator here. We're fueling it up right now. We actually had one with us in our caravan, so we're already got her hooked up to a generator. But we got to get it turned on, get the right kind of plug, and then get things going. She just had heart surgery, and she's here by herself. She's fallen. She got a mark on her forehead here. She went from just being so forlorn to being so uplifted and laughing, and I'm just so glad we stopped, so glad she flagged us down.
It's so lonesome I can't hardly go.
We're going to continue on and set up this Starlink that Elon Musk has provided to us and get it hooked up. By the time we get back, I think we'll have everything set up and get her turned on. It's just a typical story of a person up here lost, isolated, needing help. So glad we stopped. So glad she flagged us down.
Okay, and this is like you said, a typical story. Those people that are in the mountains, isolated, and they are nobody could get to them, and they probably wasn't directly affected by the storm because the hurricane did not pass over them, but their power went out. Their power went out. They have no way to get a generator. They don't have a generator. They don't have food. So I think, in short, we really do have to depend on each other. We can't wait for the government to save us because they already prove how they really feel about us. Really, when you put other people first besides your own people, and i.e. Americans, you already proved that you don't really care for Americans. You care more about illegal aliens than Americans. Okay. That's what Kamala Harris campaign is. Put Americans last. Okay. Yeah, I said it. I don't care if you like it. I said it. Put Americans last. That's Kamala. That should be her slogan. We put Americans last every single time. Okay. And speaking of Kamala Harris, we're going to talk about her real quick. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris, where's my ticker at? Kamala Harris, she had a 60-minute interview. Remember, we went over that and I shared parts of that interview. It was probably like 20 minutes that I shared with you, but it has came out that 60 minutes, they've changed the interview. What do you mean by change? They literally changed the answers to some of the questions that to make her sound more intelligent. Now, we saw that debacle of the interview yesterday, and she did not sound intelligent at all. So just imagine what the real interview was like. Okay. I have snippets of it. Okay. Somebody, the internet always interneting. You can't put nothing on the internet and think, oh, I made a mistake and I put that on the internet and think nobody screen recorded it. Those days are over, you guys. You could put it on the internet for about 10 minutes. They're going to have 10 million people screen. Somebody got a screen record of that mistake or the truth. You might try to scrub it out, but we are going to find it. And so speaking of somebody finding her debacle of the interview, this is what somebody
listening
put on X. Okay, this was the actual answers to one of the questions. Okay, let me make sure you guys could see it.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
Well, Bill, the work that we have done has resulted in a number of movements in that region by Israel that were very much prompted by or a result of many things, including our advocacy for what needs to happen in the region.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
We are not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.
But it seems that...
Did you guys hear the difference? Word salad, word salad, word salad was the actual answer. When he said it seems like the prime minister is not listening. We do what we have and what we seem extremely possible and what we know the advocacy of the people. What the hell did you just say? I know and I saw, therefore I saw and I said that I see, thus the people. Like what the hell? A dooba dooba, a deeba dooba dooba, a deeba dooba. Come on, Kamala. Kamala, what's the problem? Why can't you answer questions? Like Kamala, I mean, every interview, I know they're doubling down on their interviews. They're trying to make her seem more approachable. I'm not for sure. But she's failing miserably. She is failing miserably. This is another interview that she flopped on. Now she was with I think this is Stephen Colbert, right? This is 1 minute and 19 seconds. Tell me what the hell she says. Okay, in this interview, and responded to this question. Very simple question. She should be able to anticipate this question, because we've heard this question many times before. But no, Kamala Harris finds a way to botch this up.
Polling shows that a lot of people, especially independent voters, really want this to be a change election, and that they tend to break for you in terms of thinking about change. You are a member of the president's administration. Under a Harris administration, what would the major changes be, and what would stay the same?
Sure. Well, I mean, I'm obviously not Joe Biden.
I noticed.
And so that would be one change in terms of... But also, I think it's important to say with, 28 days to go, I'm not Donald Trump. And so when we think about the significance of what this next generation of leadership looks like, were I to be elected president, it is about, frankly, I love the American people, and I believe in our country. I love that it is our character and nature to be an ambitious people. We have aspirations, we have dreams, we have incredible work ethic, and I just believe that we can create and build upon the success we've achieved in a way that we continue to grow opportunity and in that way grow the strength of our nation.
Okay, it was a minute and 19 seconds. What the hell did she say? They asked her, okay, what would be different when you take over? What would be different than Biden? And this B, I gotta call her this fool, this dummy, this whatever you want to call her. I can't even call her. How did she become the VP, you guys? It's like, are you serious? Let's listen to this again. Like, are you I couldn't believe that I heard this. What I heard. Now, Stephen Colbert, this is a live taping, so they can't go back and, hey, we got to edit this out. So she got to be on her toes. You got to be on your toes, Kamala. You should be practicing in front of the what is it called? The mirror. Oh, they're going to ask me what's going to be different. I got to separate myself from Joe Biden because I don't agree with his economic policies. I know his economic policies kind of messed American up. You need to actually, okay, you already slighted Joe Biden. You already stabbed the man in the back. You might as well go out with a bang, right? Don't try to respect Joe Biden. Just say, yeah, I really respect Joe Biden and his leadership and his presidency, but this and this I would do differently because this is my term. Okay, this is my presidency. Okay, these are the things that I want to make my own mark in the state, my claim in the United States, leading us to a new future, because she's always saying that. But no, this fool says,
polling shows that a lot of people, especially independent voters, really want this to be a change election, and that they tend to break for you in terms of thinking about change. You are a member of the President administration. Under a Harris administration, what would the major changes be, and what would stay the same?
Sure. Well, I mean, I'm obviously not Joe Biden.
I noticed.
And so that would be one change in terms of. But also, I think it's important to say, with 28 days to go, I'm not Donald Trump. And so when we think about the significance of what this next generation of leadership looks like, were I to be elected president, it is about, frankly, I love the American people, and I believe in our country. I love that it is our character and nature to be an ambitious people. We have aspirations, we have dreams, we have incredible work ethic, and I just believe that we can create and build upon the success we've achieved in a way that we continue to grow opportunity, and in that way grow the strength of our nation.
We could say Kamala Harris is going to use the significance passage of time. We could say Kamala Harris is going to say, I love the American people because we are ambitious. We have dreams. We have aspirations. That she's going to always say that. Okay. Whatever the question is, how would you deal with the Ukraine and Russia conflict? I love our American people because I grew up as a middle class, and we're ambitious people. We're people of dreams and aspiration. Well, I just asked you, how are you going to deal with the conflict? That has nothing to do with what you just told me. She's going to say the same effing thing all the time. Okay, so speaking of the polling data, okay, somebody just took a snapshot of this particular polling data, and I want to share this with you. This is just polling data of demographics, okay? The red is Donald Trump and the blue is Kamala Harris. And they're basically showing you, okay, based off of region age, gender, affiliation, ethnicity, income, and education. Okay. Low income and education. Now, region, we see region, rural and suburban. We know rural and suburban, they typically be more conservatives than the urban areas. And we could say urban areas is probably demographics is probably more likely they're Black and non-Black people, but minorities. Okay. And they're saying 63% is for Kamala Harris. 37% in the urban area is for Donald J. Trump. Okay. This is important. I want you guys to remember this number because urban areas, like I said, is typically the demographics is more Black, more Latino, Hispanic. So just remember that 37%. Then you have, of course, she's winning with the 18 to 29 voters, those voters, and not to hate on the 18 to 29 voters. Some of those voters they're their first time being in an election. So they're going to typically vote the way their parents vote, or if they're a college student, whatever they're program in their brain at college, that's how they're going to vote. Okay. So we can't really dwell on those numbers, but it's saying she has 60% of the vote and 51% of the vote. Now we see it flip-flops to the older you get, the more you vote for Donald Trump, 57 and 51%. Of course, gender, female and male. I want to point this out too, because they're trying to paint this narrative that most females is so concerned about reproductive health. She did this whole hour-long podcast looking like a damn fool, shopping abortion or pandering abortion because she thinks that's the main concern over females. And I keep on telling you, that is not the main concern about females. That's not our number. Oh, we can't have an abortion. No, that's not the first thing. Oh my God, I can't have an abortion. That's not the first thing we wake up to when we or think about when we wake up. No. So I think this is a telltale sign because it's saying 53% are voting for Kamala Harris. This gap is really narrow. 47% is tending to vote Donald J. Trump. Now, these things will be skewed. I do want to point that out. It's going to be skewed because we do have the Green Party candidate that still will be on the ballot, and that candidate is Jill Stein. Okay, so these numbers are slightly skewed, but they're saying 47% of females will actually vote or is leaning more to Donald J. Trump. So Kamala Harris campaign, who's ever operating her campaign and saying, hey, you need to go to this show and tap into those people, tap into your base and talk about abortion. That's not the real issue here at hand. I think Donald J. Trump will get more people, females to his side if they were more feminist based. Okay. We're pro women. We love the cat ladies here, but you do have some cat ladies voting for Donald J. Trump. And we do have, Donald Trump does have more people or more females that are single and unmarried. They're voting for him. The real feminists are with Kamala Harris. Okay. But it's not a big gap, you guys. It's not. They're trying to make it like, oh, it's just a horrible gap. And vice versa, 54% of the male is voting for Donald Trump, and she has 46% of the vote. This is very alarming to me. Only reason why it's alarming because Kamala Harris is a socialist communist, and it's very alarming to me. Not because guys, well, let me retract that statement, because we do have a lot of ballless guys walking around here. We do. I had somebody in my inbox. I don't feel like showing it to you, but they wrote me a long message, and they disguised themselves as a man or a woman, but I knew it was a man the way they typed. And it probably was a gay man. And it came out because you remember I was talking about abortion, and I edited a video and posted on my channel. And that's what it came, they was responding to that video. And I hear a lot of people that watch that Call Your Daddy podcast are gay men. Okay, so why do we have a bunch of gay men and ballless men voting for Kamala Harris? And sorry if you're in the chat, I just have to call a spade a spade. Reason why, because you could just imagine if you was raised by women, you take this woman persona on, and you never get out of it. Nowadays, and some men just don't know how to stick up and lay down the line and say, no, woman, go make me a sandwich. And I'm not saying a man should say that, but come on, we're missing a lot of men to say that. So this is not surprising, 46%, because when we let women get into guys saying, oh, you need to be more in touch with your feminine side. No, I don't have a feminine side. That's what if a woman tells you you need to get in touch with your feminine side, you need to say, woman, I don't have a feminine side. I'm saying this is just factual information. Okay. Affiliation, Democrat and Republican, we're not going to go there. But we see Republicans is 85%, but telltale sign, Democrats are like only 78% that actually registered as Democrat. Only 78% is voting for Kamala Harris. These are telltale signs. Okay, now we're getting into ethnicity. White, Black, and Latino. More white folks is voting for Donald Trump. Black folks is voting for Kamala Harris. But this is a telltale sign. I think Donald Trump is going to win by a landslide. Like I said, that 37% in the urban area is voting for Donald Trump, and they're saying 27% Black. I believe this number is higher. I really do. I really believe this number is higher, but they're giving us a 27% that's voting for Donald Trump. This does not look good for Kamala Harris, because Joe Biden, he received like 85 to 90% of the Black vote last election. Kamala Harris is in some trouble. Okay. Latino, 41% is voting for Donald Trump. I don't know what it was last election. I got to go back. And then they get into the income and education. They said some college is more voting for, and high school is voting for more for Donald Trump. But when you get to some college, it's not a windfall. You see Kamala Harris only has 52%, whereas Donald Trump has the 48%. Only reason why I want to share that with you, because it's a telltale sign Kamala Harris is not doing good in her campaign. And I think that's why she has not, she was hiding in the basement, and people were pressuring her to get out and talk about her campaign. People were saying, hey, you need to talk more and get out and ask more questions. But we see asking more questions to Kamala makes her look like a fool. So the less questions she asks or answer, people are let to say, oh, I wonder how she feels about this. And Yuck Fotu, great point. Trump always outperforms the polling numbers. He does. And I think I mentioned that yesterday. He always outperforms the polling numbers. So those these battleground states and these swing states that they're kind of neck and neck is not a huge lead between either one of them. That might be a telltale sign Kamala Harris might get swept in this election. Celeste Hodges is saying, Betting polls is high for Trump. They said Kamala is screwed. Yeah, those betting polls, that's what you really need to go off of. Those betting polls are usually when they have more points on a particular person, that's more likely they'll win. Or the odds favorability. Okay. Boys that wear boy shorts. Them got illegals voting, Chawanne, plus they cheat. Yes, my co-producer made a joke about it. She said she was going to be at the poll, and she's a Democrat, and so she's so. I think she's an independent, but I think she's voting for Kamala. She jokes around like she's voting for Kamala. I don't know, but she said she's going to be at the polls, making sure that Kamala will win. And I said, okay, we got you on recording. But I have seen stories that came out that not Donald Trump, but some states found out that they had illegal registered voters. They were going around. I think this was in Pennsylvania, maybe. In some other state, they were going around and they found out that these people were actually illegals and actually registered to vote. Okay. Appreciate the super chat, Shannon. Shannon, thanks for the question. Yeah, I've received more hate comments on me. Like I received a long DM about me talking bad about Kamala. I don't know if they knew I've supported Donald J. Trump, but on my X feed, I do get a lot of comments, especially if I say something in somebody else's feed about Donald Trump, something positive. I would get called coon. But this long message that was sent to me, they called me every name in the book. I really didn't care because I've heard all those names before, but I believe it was more because I was talking bad about Kamala. But if you go into some of my videos that was posted, somebody called me the B word. I just left it up there. And this was on a Kamala Harris video. And I'm thinking like, okay, people are so mad that I'm a black person and I don't support Kamala Harris. But Kamala Harris, I guess black people should support Kamala Harris. But if you know anything about me, I already shared Candace Owens' videos. Kamala Harris is not black. She's Indian. And even before Kamala Harris, Candace Owens came out with her videos, blasting Kamala Harris for putting her fake grandmama up there. I always said she wasn't black. She's Indian. She's Indian. She's always identified as Indian. And her dad is Irish. Okay. He's Jamaican Irish. He's Jamaican because he was born on that land, but his DNA is from Ireland. Okay. So, some people don't understand why don't I support Kamala Harris, because that's what the sheep supposed to do. If we say Kamala Harris is our leader, that's who we should vote on. Okay. You should vote just because she's identified as a black woman, which is really ridiculous. We don't care anything about the policies. It sounds ridiculous. Anyway. Jay McTurnell said Dems got immigrants voting. Yeah, illegal immigrants. Justin Thompson, super producer, is 100% voting for Kamala. Yeah. Justin Thompson, yes, you know she is. Thank you. You're welcome, Shannon. Okay, so that was that. Okay, Now, on our next story, Mayor Eric Adams. Oh, you know what? I think I had one more thing that I want to share with Kamala Harris. One more thing, because she was on and this is funny, you guys. This is funny. She was on The View. I believe this was yesterday or the day before yesterday. And
In terms of,
they asked her, what do you regret anything about the Joe Biden administration? Something to that effect.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
Well, if anything, would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions.
And you know what? Somebody, to me, it's funny, but somebody is, in one of these comments I was reading, like, you think over time she would get better at these interviews, and she does not. Okay. So like I said, Kamala Harris, she's in some trouble. And it's sad to see that she keeps on ruining her own chances at the presidency, because she keeps on opening her mouth. Actually, she shouldn't even be there. Okay, we shouldn't even be talking about we're running against Kamala Harris, because she was actually not officially elected. She wasn't nominated. She didn't go through no primaries. She was just selected by Democrats. Anyway, so my next story is Mayor Eric Adams. And Mayor Eric Adams, he's been going through a lot. His administration is, he's kind of reminded me of Tiffany Henyard, that how can you, one administration, hire so many criminals? Like, I think 5 or 6 of his people currently resigned. And this last person that resigned was his chief deputy. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. His chief deputy resigned. Okay, and her name is Sheena Wright, and actually is saying she's became the 10th high-level official in Mayor Eric Adams' administration to resign amid a growing federal probe.
Friday. Now, important to First Deputy Mayor Sheena Wright has officially resigned from her post, but this is no surprise, as we previously reported that she was working out her exit from City Hall from last Friday. Now, important to note that her husband, outgoing schools chancellor David Banks, is also wrapping up his final days with the administration. Now, Wright has served in this administration since January of 2022 and moved into the role of January of 2023. Now, she worked alongside the mayor very closely on a number of initiatives, but just last month, federal investigators had seized her phones and searched her home, along with several other officials who found themselves in the same position. Now, Wright's exit from City Hall a day shy of her brother-in-law's resignation. Deputy Mayor of Public Safety Philip Banks, that was along with Winnie Greco, Rana Abbasova, and Mohammed Bahi, who all left yesterday. Now, since City Hall has been under the microscope, other high-profile officials that have exited include former Police Commissioner Edward Caban, Health Commissioner Ashwin Vasan, advisor to the mayor Tim Pearson, and legal advisor Lisa Zornberg. Now, in a statement from City Hall, it reads, "We are, quote, grateful for First Deputy Mayor Wright's years of service to the city and all she has done to deliver for children, families, and working class New Yorkers. She is an exceptional leader who assembled a strong team and constantly demonstrated a bold vision for this city."
I was on mute. What I was getting at, Mayor, I hope you heard the video, but you did. Mayor Eric Adams, you could only say, hey, there's something wrong in your camp. If you're saying these people, all these people, 10 people resigned under your camp, under your leadership, they resigned and you're just admitting guilt. Now, you guys let me know if I'm going in the wrong direction. If you're resigning and you did nothing wrong, why do you resign? Or it could be like, I don't want to deal with it. But this is a telltale sign that why do you know so many corrupt people? Now, this Mohammed Bahi, he was just released from prison the other day. They caught him tampering with evidence. He erased some text messages between him and somebody else in the camp, Eric Adams, and then I think it was on his phone, whatever it was, but they called it tampering evidence. They end up arresting him, and I believe he served like 6 to 9 months, and he was released yesterday. And this Sheena Wright, now in this video, I didn't know she was actually married to the individual of her housing mate. I just thought, they were a couple, but apparently they're married. Now he's the, what is it called? The superintendent of schools. He's over the school department, and he's planning to resign. So now you're going to have maybe 11 people. And Mayor Eric Adams is saying that these people, these resignations does not have to do anything with my indictment. This FBI probe or investigation, remember they ran into Sheena's house about a month ago. This does not have to do with nothing that pertains to me. And then they ran into her house a month ago. It was about 4 weeks ago. And then 2 weeks later, Mayor Eric Adams was charged with or indicted, okay? Indicted for bribery. Now, he was charged on this pay to play scheme. We actually went over this, okay? So if you want to know more about the play to pay, play to pay scheme and a straw scheme, that's what they're calling it in this indictment, where a business player from overseas will donate money to in their campaign. Now, and it's called straw donation. And that's when they get some random person or a person that they know that's a U.S. citizen to donate to Mayor Eric Adams' campaign. Okay. But the money actually came from these foreign dignitaries from Turkey. Okay. These foreign businessmen from Turkey. And he actually was caught strong-arming the fire chief, right? Okay, he strong-armed the fire chief for this building that the Turkish government officials was building in New York City. They were building a Turkish consulate in New York City. So I'm pretty sure he did some finagling with the land for them to acquire the land. And then he strong-armed the fire chief to approve the building, even though the building was not up to code. Okay. And so Mayor Eric Adams, he ended up getting about $10 million from these Turkish people. Okay. $10 million that was donated to his public campaign. Okay. So, and they're saying that he could face up to 20 years for this bribery scheme. Okay. 2 counts of soliciting campaign contribution from foreign nationals each carry a maximum sentence of 5 years. 1 count of soliciting and accepting bribes, which carries a maximum of 10 years in prison. And 20 years in prison for wire fraud. So these are accusations. And this is an indictment. So he's charged with a crime, but he's not yet found guilty. Okay. But we could say Damian Williams, if he's on the case, if you see his name on your indictment, U.S. Attorney Damian Williams, we could just say he's probably going to get convicted. Okay. Because Damian Williams does not play. Okay. If he's indicting you, he has a lot of information against you, and he's going to win. That's his claim to fame. Indicting government officials or whoever he indicts. You know, he's on Sean Puffy Combs' indictment as well. Okay, so we could say Damian Williams, I don't think is nothing. He's not paid and bought by somebody. He's indicting and charging everybody, and he's convicted everybody. Okay. So you guys let me know what you think about that. Put it in the chat. Let me see what some of you guys are saying in the comments. Justin Thompson saying court was postponed for Tiffany's case today. It was supposed to be at 2. Yeah, I heard she had to be in court. Share, I believe that's how you pronounce your name. Hi, beauties. Anybody on Zoom for tips 2 o'clock court proceeding today? And you just heard it was postponed. I'm not for sure when it's supposed to come back online. Tyrone Price, VP Harris, not my pick for the next president. Thank you, Tyrone, for your support. Hopefully, you know, you spread the word, get other people not to vote Kamala Harris in, because she's something else. Now, our last story for the hour, we're going to talk about Tiffany Henyard. Tiffany Henyard was served during Thornton Township meeting yesterday. Okay. Thornton Township meeting yesterday. And you know what? She probably could have avoided this court document getting to her. But no, Tiffany, she likes to show her butt. She likes to show her butt, okay? She loves to show her butt. And this is from Reality Check TV. Let me just get it to where it's supposed to be. This is from Reality Check TV. So if you don't not subscribe to Reality Check TV, go to subscribe to his channel. He's always tuning in for Thornton Township meetings. So subscribe to his channel. So shout out to him for providing footage for this video. Now, I want to let you guys know, Tiffany Henyard did not have to actually stay as long as she did for this meeting. Of course, the breaking news was not really breaking because my super producer actually broke it on her channel. If you're not subscribed to All in the Queue, go subscribe to her channel as well. She broke it on her channel where Trustee Jerry Jones has resigned. Okay, he resigned. And he put out a statement saying, hey, you know, I need to focus on my health, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's the statement he put out. And one thing about Jerry Jones, let me see if I could. One thing about Jerry Jones, I don't know if he was like a big supporter of Tiffany. I know he was one of the people that actually voted Tiffany in, but he as time went on, he started to come around and vote against Tiffany Henyard. Now, some of you guys might not know, Jerry Jones' son, he used to work for Thornton Township. Now, remember in the video where they were explaining, this was at Thornton Township meeting, not the very last meeting, but the meeting before that, when they was trying to get or hire a lawyer or vote on a lawyer. And Chris Gonzalez was asking them about, you know, have they operated or represented them in any of the court proceedings? They were talking about Jerry Jones' son's case. Jerry Jones' son case was extended out, and he was suing them. He was suing the Thornton Township and Tiffany Henyard, and they actually was awarded for, he was actually awarded $3 million. $3 million on this lawsuit. This was employee lawsuit, employee to employer lawsuit. Tiffany is a big liability. Okay, she has suits coming out her ears. Now, business owners are trying to sue her. Her own employees are trying to sue her. Just a lot of people are trying to sue her. Okay, so this is Jerry Jones that I'm sharing with you. This is All in the Q's page. I wanted to share this before we get to what I'm talking about. Okay, so Jerry Jones, he resigned. And so the two other trustees had to come together and collaborate and say, well, now Jerry Jones is resigned. Okay, we need to get our heads together and say, okay, how are we going to approach Tiffany? Because now the vote is split. And since the vote is split, the clerk can make the tiebreaker break-in vote. We know the other trustee is going to vote Tiffany's way. Okay, so you got 4 votes right now. And so the clerk, it makes the tie-breaking vote. Now, and plus they need to appoint somebody temporary in Jerry Jones' position. We know Tiffany Henyard is going to appoint Michael Smith. We already know that. Don't be surprised. She's going to appoint Michael Smith. And reason why I'm saying that is because Michael Smith is trying to get his paws back into the political game, but she's going to temporarily appoint him or try to appoint him because he has to be voted in. So they need to actually get their heads together, get their strategy together before they come to another meeting. So Carmen Carlisle and trustees Chris Gonzalez put out a statement saying, based off of Jerry Jones, this is a surprising news and some safety issues. They will not be attending the meeting yesterday. Okay, so they put that statement out. And so Tiffany decided to hold this meeting anyway. Okay. I'm trying to see if she actually put this statement. Let's go over Jerry Jones' statement. Okay, since you guys can't hear what she's saying, I'm going to read it. It says, Gerald Jones, Thornton Township trustee. This was dated October the 7th, 2024. You guys let me know if you could hear me speaking. This letter is written on behalf of Gerald Jones, Thornton Township trustee. Please accept my resignation. Please accept this as my official resignation to the trustee at Thornton Township, Illinois, effective October 7th. It has been my appreciation for the opportunity to serve on the township board and to the residents. I don't know what that says. But it says board member and administration. I am deeply grateful for the opportunity. Please know at this time I must prioritize my personal health going forward. Sincerely, Jerry Jones. He had another word right here. I can't read it. But so that's his official resignation. Now, so Tiffany hopefully you guys could hear that. Tiffany, she decided to show up to the meeting anyway after the two residents, or the two trustees, Thornton Township trustees, decided to put it out there where they're not going to attend. So she knew that she didn't have a quorum, but she decided to have a meeting anyway. And normally when she has a meeting, it's only because she wants to get on her soapbox and preach about nothing. Talking about, see, they don't really, because they don't really concern, they're not concerned about the residents. They always concerned about whatever, their personal life or whatever she likes to preach about. But so they put out this statement saying they're not going to be in attendance now. And then you had Tiffany Henyard. She actually held the meeting, and that's what hopefully this plays, you guys. If not, I'm just going to have to go to another source. You guys let me know if you could hear this. Hear this. They're not talking now, but I just want to know if you could hear the background noise.
We requested security at each door. They wanted metal detectors.
That is really false report. Agenda. We had several things on this evening's agenda. One is the big thing that everybody would like to know, which is about our finances. If you are in need or looking for our finances, you can always come and get a copy from Thorton Township. And also it is online, the Cook County site. I don't know about how to recite it at this moment, but you can go on the site and it'll show you our audited reports. As I always state, and as I stated in the past, when I became the supervisor, you guys had a and don't quote me, about 4.5, Robert, or $4.2 million deficit. And since taking over, currently now we at a 9.8, 9.8, 9 point what?
I don't have that report in front of me.
Okay, so it's around 9 point something million surplus here in Thorton Township. So I just want to point some things out to you. We have on the agenda to have a presentation about our audit from John, safety issues.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Madam Supervisor, residents, staff. When informed about safety concerns, I immediately reached out to Rob and told him we needed to handle this as best as we could. We requested security at each door. They wanted metal detectors on such short notice. We asked them, could they have wands? I'm sure most of you all got wine today. That's the first time. So we did start putting things in place. We had correspondence with the actual security company, and they gave several different layouts. The main thing was to make sure all doors were covered so no one could go up and let somebody in after coming through the main entrance door and being warned. So we did take those matters seriously and started working on them immediately. If many of you remember, the supervisor had concerns about safety because there was a lot of attacks on her. The board would not comply. They still made her go downstairs. This room is the safest room because it's easy to control, and the elected official has 2 doors that they can exit out of if the meeting did get out of control. But we did start immediately working on safety concerns, not just for one trustee that asked for it, but for everyone. So, yeah, I don't know where they got that from. We started working on it immediately, and as you see, some measures have already started, even as far as the ones. So that's just a lie.
Okay, thank you so much. So I just wanted to clear up what misleading information is out there that is really false reports. Next, the big thing that everybody would like to know about is one of our trustees. So for those that don't know, trustee Jerry Jones resigned from the township. So he's no longer a trustee here at Thorton Township. So we got the letter, and I'll let clerk speak to that. You want to speak to that about when you get the letter or how you got the letter?
Oh, I received it about email.
Okay, so the clerk got the letter stating that Jerry Jones will no longer be a trustee here in the township. Me and the board and also the clerk, we'll talk about our steps moving forward for filling that vacancy. So that will be coming up soon. So stay tuned to that. Next, agenda. We had several things on this evening's agenda. One is the big thing that everybody would like to know, which is about our finances. If you are in need or looking for our finances, you can always come and get a copy from Thorton Township. And also it is online, the Cook County site. I don't know about how to recite it at this moment, but you can go on the site and it'll show you our audited reports. As I always state, and as I stated in the past, when I became the supervisor, you guys had a and don't quote me, about 4.5, Robert, or $4.2 million deficit. And since taking over, currently now we at a 9.8, 9.8 what?
I don't have that report in front of me.
Okay, so it's around 9-point-something million surplus here in Thornton Township. So I just want to point some things.
Robert said he doesn't have the number, but if you have a surplus of 9-point-whatever million dollars, wouldn't you remember that number? Especially after you were in deficit for so long. You would commit that to memory. That's why I say Tiffany Henyard is probably lying. She's probably lying about this number.
Out to you. We have on the agenda to have a presentation about our audit from John Casper, and he was going to talk as it relates to our numbers. When you find out the great things that we have done, the great things that I always speak about, and the positive cash flow that we have here at Thorton Township, you're going to be amazed. You're going to see that everything that everybody's been telling or alleging to has been nothing but lies and a smear campaign. I've always stood in my truth. I've always stated the facts, and I always tell you, get the facts. Stop believing everything you hear, because at this moment, I know one of my lawyers, I've always told you guys, I am under attack, whether you want to believe it or not. I am the first female to hold this position, which is the largest township in the state of Illinois. I fulfill Frank Zuccarelli's shoes. Frank had the position, I think, 29, 30 years, and I came right after that. So what they say, the first gets the worst, and that's what's going on currently right now. But guess what? This first is a fighter, and I'm going to continue to fight. I'm going to continue to show you guys the truth, but I just need you to stand with me and stay focused to the truth, not the negativity that goes on in our community currently now. At the end of the day, I will prevail, but I want to just give you a little more clarity to what's on the agenda for you residents, because at the end of the day, everybody knows I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I really care about people, because you gotta care about people in order to be a public servant. You cannot be about self. You have to care and show the people the love and provide them with the resources they need to move forward. Another thing we had on the agenda this evening was the budget. I've been asked about the budget since it was time to pass the budget. And as you can see, to this day, we still don't have a budget passed. You cannot keep passing or kicking the can down the road without having a budget. We have to do what we elected to do, and that's to make sure we take care of our business and not let our business take care of us, which that's what most of my board members have allowed, and not taking care of the will of the people. So the budget is still on the agenda for this evening to get passed. Another thing we got on the agenda, all our bills. We have bills that's due. People that have the service here through a township, and they want to get paid. They have small mom and pop stores or vendors they want their money. So for us not to come here at a regularly scheduled board meeting and show up and vote for the people, because that's their business, they took care of it, whether they fed them, whether they made a ramp, or whatever they did, you're supposed to take care of that, but the board is not here. The other thing, when you saw the gentleman leave, like I stated, it was Vista Insurance. That was to get the insurance for the staff here in Thorton Township. It is due currently now, and now we have to wait again in order to have insurance for our staff. And of course, it's the renewal. Something big that I put together that I was working on for the last 2-3 months is a tax refund, property tax that is. Property tax refund to all the residents of Thornton Township. The reason for doing that is because I heard your cries. I understand what you're going through. I know that a lot of people raise their property taxes in their cities. A lot of people don't even know how to read their property tax bill. In doing so, the property tax bill, if you go check it out, you have to understand who raised your property tax. They like to blame one person, and people, by them being misinformed, they don't understand how to read. And what I mean is this: the park board raised your property taxes, the library board raised your property taxes, the village or the city that you live in raised your property taxes. All these individuals raise your property tax, including the school boards, whether that's 148, 149, 152, it's several, I'm not gonna go down the line. And then 205, which is the high school district. All of them have a tax levy, and they are entitled to raise your property taxes by 4.99%, whether you agree or disagree. That's the law. And the majority of them do it. But half of the time, most of the time, community is asleep. Y'all don't even know they doing it. Then you get your bill, then you're like, why they raise my taxes? Then somebody come here doing and blame somebody else. And you not knowing or researching yourself, you believe the lie. You don't even know that that person didn't raise your taxes. It was all those entities that raised your property taxes. So I always tell people, educate yourself.
Tiffany, shut the hell up. You say the same shit over and over again. People, if they own a property, they eventually know how to read property taxes. They know what millages are. That's why most of your millages you tried to put forth don't get passed, because they know you trying to raise their property taxes. Come on now. You just think people buying houses and they don't know how to read a bill? You sound ridiculous. She sounds stupid. She trying to act like other people are stupid.
If you educate yourself, no one can mislead you, misguide you, bamboozle you, hoodwink you, lay up straight, none of that, if you just educate yourself or hear another side. Like how now today, this evening. See how everyone's just listening and allow me to speak so you can hear a different perspective? Sometimes people have to tell their neighbor, hey, be quiet.
We don't give a damn about your perspective because we know you're lying. Oh my God. All the people that like you are here, and then the people that don't like you, they're not there, and they might be in a room, but they're just listening to you. We don't have a quorum, so what are we talking about? They're here to put you in a trap so you just lie to them and they get it on video. Since it's not in record. That's what your main purpose is just to ramble off at the mouth and not say a damn thing.
I want to hear what they got to say. That way you'll get a side, my side, and now you decide what you want to believe or what you see the truth to be. So I ask you to continue to do this. I appreciate the respect, and I appreciate your undivided attention. I'm going to let Robert speak to the tax refund. And the reason why I'm still just allowing people just to talk about it, we're not taking any action. Of course, I stated this before. I'm going to state it again. We do not have a quorum. This is not a board meeting. This is basically like a town hall meeting. I am discussing to you my intentions of what I placed on this agenda and where I see our next couple months going. Robert Hunt, you got the floor. And this is about the property tax refund that was on the agenda for a vote this evening.
Good evening. Thornton Township decided to announce the launch of this year's tax refund program, aimed at reaching more residents in our community than ever before. Recognizing the need for a more inclusive approach, this year's program is set to be the most significant in our history. In previous years, the application process required residents to take certain steps to receive a tax refund, resulting in only about 50% of homeowners receiving it. To address this, we are committed to ensuring that all homeowners are fully informed and able to participate. As part of this effort, Thornton Township will implement 100% tax refund for all homeowners. And then I'm gonna break down some of the costs. So the cost for the 2025 tax refund project, the total cost will be $2,299,615. Of that $2.2 million will be issued to all the homeowners. That's over 25,000 pins. With us doing this process, only $15,000 will be allocated to programming and staffing. With this setup, the tax refund will have minimum staffing and program costs. The previous year, when we had the 2021 tax refund, the total project was $907,306. We issued $150,000 refunds, and we spent $307,156 for staffing, software, and other costs. In 2017, the total project cost us $1.2 million. We issued $809,000 in refunds, and we spent $404,000 on staffing, software, and other costs. So this year project, we will be spending, well, we plan to spend $15,000 for programming and staffing, and everything else will be allocated to the homeowners. This year's, for this project, when we look at our fund balance for 2024, our fund balance for the general fund increased by $1 million. The general assistance fund had a fund balance increase of $4 million. And so that's why we feel we're very well fund balance. We really will have a strong balance to do this tax refund.
All right, so we have
Why Robert Hunt looked like dopey? Like, why did you shrug your shoulders? Like you unsure of what you're saying? Like, what, are you slow? Like, he's supposed to be a CPA, but I'm not for sure about this guy. I'm not he shrugged his shoulders when he was talking. He had like a little smirk on him. What were you telling the truth? But what was the smirk about? You guys, did you see that? Did you catch it?
My audit report, we have, for the general assistance fund, we have a $13 million fund balance right now.
right. Ooh, I get a clap on that. Hey, Robert.
2000 this year's, for this project, when we look at our fund balance for 2024, our fund balance for the general fund increased by $1 million. The general assistance fund had a fund balance increase of $4 million. And so that's why we feel we're very well fund balance. We really will have a strong balance to do this tax refund.
All right, so we have what?
Do you see why did he shrug his shoulders? Like, what is that about? I don't understand.
4.2 million.
Yeah, so this year, our fund balance increased $4.2 million in general assistance funds. Our current fund balance from our audit report, we have, for the general assistance fund, we have a $13 million fund balance right now.
Right. Ooh, I get a clap on that. Hey, Robert.
And I guess that I can provide this, but yeah, that's really.
Okay, thank you so much. I just want to give a synopsis of what we have going on, and you guys get some clarity of where we're going in the next 2 months or so. So as you can see, I stated this all the time, we have a surplus of $4.2 million in the general assistance fund. I want to give away half of that to our residents. He stated that I want to give 25,000 residents their property tax that we allocate for here at Thornton Township. So I can't talk for nobody else. So if you see a check and you say, hey, it's only this amount, it's only the amount that the township allocated for, just so we're crystal clear. But we're gonna explain this along the way so people understand what it is. I don't mean, because we're not the bulk of it. I always told you this, we only utilize 5 cents of your money. 5 cents, guys, and that provides a ton of resources for everyone throughout Thornton Township, which encompass 17 communities in the South. Thank you, Robert, for that. I appreciate it. And also, I want people to know that you will get something in the mail. You will have to apply for it. We are only, let me be crystal clear, only doing homeowners. So you cannot be a landlord, you cannot be an investment property, you cannot be a renter. This is strictly for homeowners. So you have to own your house, and I know they're working on the rules now. I talked to the accountant today, John Parrott, and I know that you have to be there a year, from my understanding. So they're putting the criteria together for you, but it's for any and everybody, as long as you pay taxes. Because some seniors are exempt, and you don't pay anything. Some people pay a penny. So a lot of people don't even know that. But just for the record, it's for anybody that has got charged from Thornton Township. We will be refunding you that portion back for GA. That's the General Assistance Fund, and which that's what I'm over. Next, pumpkins. We have Halloween coming up, so we put everything on the agenda, just like the board members asked us to, so that we can get it approved and order our pumpkins, our supplies, things for our kids, our youth. Unfortunately, again, they didn't come to the meeting to do so, so that's kind of sad, because a lot of great things that's on this agenda is not going to get any attention due to them not showing up. This is what I'm gonna leave you with. So I think I'm done with everything that's on the agenda that I was really, really proud of, especially the audit once you hear about it, because you get so much misleading information, and we got surpluses of billions, millions up in there. So I just want people to know that from John Caspero's mouth to your ears, the truth, so that you don't get misleading information no longer. My thing is this: the Board of Trustees should have showed up. They did not show up. They could have showed up because we still have a quorum. With myself being here and the other trustees showing up, everybody could have still concluded and took care of the business. I truly believe that the Board of Trustees did not show up because Jerry Jones resigned today. So with his resignation, they no longer had their third leg, which is the people that created the chaos here at Thornton Township. They can no longer create chaos. They can no longer stop us from doing the will of the people, which is voting for what's right and giving you the things that you need, whether it's free food, whether it's GA services, whether it's paying your light, gas, water, mortgage, rent, burial system. We do all these things here at Thornton Township. But as I always say, it saddens my heart, it hurts my heart, because the news, that's why I call them fake news, never reports this for you guys. They report any kind of negative things, any type of mess to you, but won't report none, like all the things I just said this evening. I dare you guys. I hope you guys report us giving away $2 million to residents for their property taxes. But you're not gonna see none of that, because it gotta be chaos. Because what? Negative news sells. Nothing positive sells. And it's a shame that that is happening here at Thornton Township, where we have a surplus in every department. Every single department is doing well here. But I just want you guys to see it for yourself. I want you to hear from the accountant. I want you to hear from the people that do our reports. And I want you to understand it as well, because sometimes people don't understand everything. Because everybody not a math person, and they're not an accountant. So they don't understand how to balance checkbooks. Some people don't. That's why some people are in the negative. So you got all these issues, but I would love to show you better than I can tell you. That's all I had this evening. Everybody thought I was gonna go left. No, I didn't. So that's all I had. I just wanted to just give you a address from your supervisor this evening, so you'll know what's to come, what's gonna happen. If you have any positive questions, I'll always speak to anything positive. I don't entertain the negative stuff. I don't have time for it. Truth Speaks will be here. You lead with heart. Let God lead your footsteps. This is just me. I know a lot of times people don't like to hear the word God, but I am a person that prays every day. You should too, because there's a lot of people that come to us that's dealing with mental illness. A lot of people that have loved ones that have committed suicide. There's a lot of things going on besides the hate and the negativity that we display here at Thornton Township as residents. About you being residents and being older residents, understand this: our youth is watching. Our youth want to see somebody that they can look up to, somebody that they can go and get direction from. And it just saddens my heart again, because the people that I see displaying the hatred and the negativity, you cannot be the example for the youth. We will not follow that. We need someone that's going to take a stance against all the hatred, all the naysayers, and say, hey, if I can do it, you can do it too. And to all my women, all my ladies that's out here in the crowd, in TV land, in YouTube, please stand up for what you believe in. Please don't follow hatred, negativity. Make sure that people respect you, because it's hard being in power when you are a woman. And to the anchors that's women, I know it's hard for you guys. I know what y'all go through. I know y'all get overlooked and you're underpaid, but you got to take a stand and do what's right. And stop smearing other women when you see them actually trying, because I understand everybody got a boss. I get it. You got a boss. But sometimes tell your boss, no, I'm not going to stand for that. That young lady's doing an awesome job at Thornton Township and in Dalton. But unfortunately, I'm not going to get on the bandwagon to just smear and bring someone down. That's to investigate, because y'all say y'all investigative journalists, but y'all not doing that. Y'all go with one-sided narratives. Y'all go off only what they say and not what we say. If we telling you and showing you the truth and facts, please let the truth speak for itself. Please show the facts. Please show the documentation, because we give you the evidence, so that way you don't have to do retractions, Chawanne.
Tiffany went from, hey, support black women or other women, to bashing women. You went from, yeah, I know you got bosses and you need to stand up for what is right, and you need to tell, your bosses that, the lady in Thorton Township is doing a great job. So we're doing our job because it's called journalism, good or bad. And then you said, because you guys only report the fake news, like you went from, hey, I support you, and to bashing other women. It doesn't make any sense.
You have to do retractions to your stories when we give you the information that you FOIA and you go and you inflate numbers. Come on. Why would y'all do that to us? We giving you the truth, but you're writing the stories that you want to sell to the public. That's not right. That's hurtful. And at the end of the day, a lot of people watch the news, and I tell them, stop believing in fake news. Go check it out. That's why the YouTubers is taking over. And I get it. You're competing with the YouTubers, because they telling one side story, you telling one side story, but the residents are the one that's lost in the sauce. So please work on that. My job is to have a rapport with the media, not sit here and constantly get attacked by the media. I wish they would see the other side, but if they won't, guess what? I'm gonna just get one of them YouTubers, one of them ones that got some following, and I'm gonna give them the story, because at the end of the day, everybody got somebody that they listen to. But right now, I just want you to give me the opportunity to show my work and let you guys see it for what it is, because I always say this, my work speaks for itself. Judge me on my work, not what someone said, not because someone don't like somebody, not because the hatred that goes on in our communities, because we are what we see. And our kids are watching, our loved ones are watching. Please be a better person this year, this season coming around. And I'm gonna end it. I just want to give y'all that little token of, hey, stand up, pass appreciation, and make sure that people love you back. Because I lead with love. That's what I say. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Because sometimes, I quote,
yeah, take a drink of water, because you talk too much. You talk too damn much. I don't know how y'all could deal with this lady.
Sometimes people never even heard somebody tell them they love them, or heard the words, I love you. And sometimes people come to gatherings and come to events because of the love and the community engagement, which we pose here at Thorton Township. I'm proud to announce that we're going to keep going with community outreach, community engagement. We're going to continue with Big Bingo. We're going to continue to call you guys and tell you about the wonderful services here at Thornton Township. That is housed by our seniors. Our seniors are the ones on the phones. They are just like you when you pick up. Some of them on the phone for 30, 45 minutes. I'm like, all right, get off the phone, get off the phone. But that shows you that they just need someone to talk to, that they are alone. And to my staff, I thank you, I love you, I appreciate you, because with all of you guys, this was possible. I was able to be successful because of you. So I thank you guys, seriously, from the bottom of my heart. Y'all give it up for my staff, because I love them and they love me back. And with their help, every single department has been successful. Every department has told us what their needs, and not only they wants, were, and we was executing all of that until we started getting gridlocked because the outside interference that a lot of people don't like to talk about, but I like to talk truth up here. You had a lot of people that is interfering with day-to-day operation, interfering with the office of the supervisor, interfering with staff, and I'm not standing for it. And those people are Thaddeus Jones, your state rep, your mayor of Kansas City. Napoleon Harris, your committeemen that don't do anything. But all these people are muscling or trying to muscle your supervisor here at Thornton Township. So I want to put that out for the record, because a lot of people don't talk about it, won't say nothing about it, but I'm not scared. I'm not afraid of you guys, and I will stand up to bullies. I don't like bullies. I don't want bullies in Thornton Township. I want people to feel free to do what they want as they need for their department, and not feel that they're going to have political retaliation because they spoke up or because they told you guys y'all was wrong or it's not right. So my job is to make sure that I speak and be the voice of reason and speak for the voiceless. I'll continue to do that, but I just want to say thank you so much for staying here, listening to me, hearing my side and what we had to talk about.
I have a question.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, two other things. Thank you so much. And that's why I love my staff. Two other things that they want me to mention that I normally mention in my report. Scholarships. I stated this before when I first got here. We gave over 80 scholarships to our youth throughout Thornton Township. They were so grateful for that. I know because I went to college of how hard it is to get a scholarship, let alone grant money for tuition, your books, your room and board, things of that nature. So 80 of them got it. They received up to $25,000 or $3,000. Which one? 85. Oh, 85 of them got it up to $2,500. Up to $2,500. Next was our toy giveaway. Toy giveaway is coming up. They are taking sign-ins here at Thornton Township. That was huge last year. I know Frank, I'll say previous administration, they used to wrap the gifts. One thing I wanted people to have is the experience. So they'll come to our location where we house the toys at, and we made it like Toyland, like Toys R Us. So they came and they just got to pick 3 different toys of their choosing. Some got more because kids get to crying at the table, but everybody got toys. So a lot of parents didn't have to spend up to $100 to $200 for the toys because it costs about $30, $40 per toy. And they wasn't on Dollar Tree toys neither. So when you turn the arm, they don't break. So it's really cool. That is going on again coming up. We are going to announce the dates. Thanksgiving, we will be having a food giveaway that we have every single year. That's really huge, and we give away tons of food. And with that being said, the food is old school cooking, I'll say that. Old school cooking, so we got your dressing, your greens, your yams, and then we also do a meat in a turkey or ham. And we also did chicken, and I care about you ladies that cook in the kitchen and burn like I do. When I say burn, not burn the food, burn like cook. We basically make sure you get smoked turkey, or we had the ham hocks for you pork lovers. So either one, because I cook with both. And then a lot of you guys like collard greens, and I do unsweetened turnips. So we kind of like switch it up, but it's a ton of fun. The box is full of goodies, and we do that for Thanksgiving. So if you got some ideas or concerns of some foods or items you would like in the box, please let us know, and we will try to make sure we have it, because the staff orders now, whether you believe it or not, because they order for the entire township, and people have to register for the food. So we know how much to get, so we're not overspending or have an over amount of food left over. Next is...
It's called surplus, Tiffany. So you won't have a surplus of food. Tiffany is a motor mouth. I'm trying to wait until, she's supposed to be served during the meeting. So I'm trying to wait. But she keeps on talking.
We got Thanksgiving, we got Halloween, and Christmas. Tree light, you over there right up the storm, huh? The tree light, we're gonna do that, and then we have the Autumn Fest as well. So again, check our website. You have to register for a lot of our events. All our events are free. Nobody has to spend any money for anything. All you have to do is register so we can have an account. So we'll buy enough food or enough product, whether you're painting pumpkins, whether you're there for the meal, but you have to register so we not short, which we never have been. I love that. And we always give it back. Big Bingo will be this month. It's always the third Thursday of every single month. I know the Board of Trustees have been trying to stop that, but you know how I am, I'm super mayor. So I'm going to keep going. I'm not going to stop because y'all got to understand one thing about me. I'm an entrepreneur by trade. So my entrepreneur spirit always keep me motivated, keep me focused.
She ain't no damn entrepreneur. She might be a bad one. Let me just say she's a bad one. We could say she is an entrepreneur because she did own the Good Burger that she didn't pay none of the rent for. She was at the community college, had a stand there. She was supposed to serve in the cafeteria, the Good Burger. and she didn't pay not 1 day rent or 1 month rent. She was back rent or owed the people back rent for about, I think, since she actually signed the lease. Anyway, Cher is asking, was that Jerry Jones handed the paper? No, that wasn't Jerry Jones. That was William Moore. I believe that's William Moore handing her the papers.
And keep me trying to find a yes for you when people, I say yes. As long as it's within our wheelhouse, you have the budget for it, as I just stated. We got surpluses. So there's no reason to say no to the people. When they say no to you guys, I say yes. And that's why I keep trying to stress to you, especially with that property tax stuff. I know a lot of y'all was complaining about your mortgages went up, your escrows went up, and I really care about helping, but I can only help with my portion. And my portion being the percentage from Thorton Township. And that's that 5 cents that I keep telling y'all about. When people be talking about my money is only 5 cents of your money that's being spent for items here at Thorton Township. Yes, go ahead.
You mentioned something about the people that can't read their tax bills. Is there something in place where people can come and learn how to read their tax bills?
So we do this, it's called Township Talk. Every Township Talk, I think it's the fourth Wednesday, the fourth Wednesday of every month, we do Township Talk downstairs in the lower level. The sad part about it is only about 10 or 20 people show up. That's it. And this is the part where you can get educated on anything in Thornton Township. When I say every single one of my department heads, all of them in the back, all of them over here, every one of them show up. And they talk about their department, whatever your questions are. And then the residents have a one-on-one with them. First, they give a whole brief description of what they do, how they can help you, especially senior services. That's where most seniors can go and apply for their ramps that they get on their homes. And then they also apply for a lot of other things. They do a lot of trips too. But senior services is really dope. But that's how you can get it.
Do you advertise and let people know the subject is going to be, we're going to teach you how to read your tax bill, this at Tiffany's talk on this day? I'm just asking.
Yeah, well, we
do.
do.
Let people know that? I mean, I think more people would come out if they knew, what the subject matter is.
Yeah, I totally agree, but unfortunately, that is the assessor's job. I just help when people complain about things. I just insert myself and help. So her job.
See how Tiffany is, she's trying to take ownership of stuff. She's a horrible leader. You take ownership of stuff and then I guess you see some little holes in it. Oh, that's the assessor job. Well, you were just ranting and raving about Township Talk. Whoever's over it, you're the leader, the supervisor of all the people. Why wouldn't you say, hey, on certain days, we're going to teach people about the taxes? Why are you just trying to pass the buck? She's horrible. Not to say she was doing this on purpose, but why would you say that?
That's what she does, is private taxes. That's what she's supposed to do. Educate you guys on and show you. But we do that as well because a lot of people come to the meetings and they ask us. So I made a video, and on the video, we actually break it down. We show you the tax bill. We show you all the entities that take your money, and we show you our portion. And that's how I was doing. So
access to video.
Yeah, you can get access out. Where is it? It should be online. Where is it now?
Yeah, it's on Thornton Township Facebook page.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, he handles all that, so if you can go on Thornton Township Facebook page, you can find it. And then you can put it on the website too for her so she can see it.
Yes.
Yep, or he can email it to you as well. But he knows our media guy back there.
And the 100% refund you're talking about, does that have to be approved by the board first?
No, that is strictly under me, under GA. But my job was being transparent, and I would love the board's approval with me. I would love that. But the way their law is set up here, the supervisor is the sole person over the GA department. That's the general assistant department. The board, their department, they are responsible for like general fund. So that's why when you hear me up here saying, hey, why y'all taking stuff out of the GA department? You got no authority in that. And that's what I'm talking about when I say that. Yeah, go ahead. Thank you.
I'm a private investigator. I've got some books that says super mayor. Inside I have from the United States District Court, Northern District of Illinois, Tyrone Eisen Jr. to you as both personal and in your role as mayor.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you much, sir.
Anytime, sure. I need that good, ready, huh? All right. I guess anything else? I get sued all the time. I get sued all the time. Y'all stop it. What happened? Election.
All right, very important. Presidential election is coming November 5th. Early voting starts tomorrow in downtown Chicago.
Tiffany says she gets sued all the time. Yeah, you got that right. You get sued all the time. Let me rewind this.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, he handles all that, so if you can log on to our Facebook page and find it. And then you can put it on the website too for her so she can see.
Yes.
Yep, or he can email it to you as well. But he knows our media guy back there.
And the 100% refund you're talking about, does that have to be approved by the board first?
No, that is strictly under me, under GA. But my job was being transparent, and I would love the board's approval with me. I would love that. But the way their law is set up here, the supervisor is the sole person over the GA department. That's the general assistant department. The board, their department, they are responsible for like general fund. So that's why when you hear me up here saying, hey, why y'all taking stuff out of the GA department? You got no authority in that. And that's what I'm talking about when I say that. Yeah, go ahead. Thank you.
I'm a private investigator. I've got some books that says super mayor. Inside I have from the United States District Court, Northern District of Illinois, Tyrone Eisen Jr. to you as both personal and in your role as mayor.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you much,
You
sir.
anytime, appreciate it. We need to cook ready, huh? All right, I guess anything else? I get sued all the time. Y'all stop it.
She gets sued all the time. She was avoiding those papers. That's what I heard. That's why he had to show up to the Thorton Township meeting. Now, since you've been avoiding, you don't live where you supposed to be living at, or say your address is wrong, we got to find you at your job. And then we couldn't find you at your job because I hear she don't show up for work. This is allegedly. Tiffany don't show up for work. She collecting the paycheck, but she not showing up for work. That was classic. The orange in Tiffany's jacket at least matches her hair. Kennard the DJ, is she finished or she done? Super server to the supervisor, yes. Cornelia's booty sweating. Mwanda is saying, okay, she just said that she gets sued all the time. So what does that tell you about her? Yeah, everybody's always suing you. That just, to me, that is so wild. Like, oh, everybody sues me. There's nothing big about it. Like, Shara saying, Kurt the super server. Hoo-hoo, federal. So, yeah, U.S. District Attorney, I guess this particular guy and I'm going to, next time we talk about Tiffany Henyard, I'm going to pull up his lawsuit if it's public. I believe this lawsuit is about, he owned a barbershop. He owned a barbershop in Thorton Township. He renovated the barbershop. And when he went to go apply for his license or his certificate of occupancy, they denied him. And it's saying that Super Mayor stole the building for him after he renovated. After he renovated this building, spent his hard-earned money to rent. I don't know if you guys ever renovated a storefront or a building. It's not cheap. I had it was about 1,000 square foot storefront before the pandemic. We was there for a few years. And I did it wasn't an overhaul, but we replaced the carpet. We actually reconfigured the front part, put new walls up. We had to get a new HVAC system and all that good stuff. But it cost me about 30 grand. Probably close to 35 grand to renovate. And it was only, I think that spot was probably a close to 1,000 square foot. It wasn't very large, but it's not cheap when you do a renovation. You know, that's not cheap. And then you got to get approved for the permitting and all that good stuff. So this claim alleges that Tiffany stole this building from this guy. Not ordained or not ordinary GX 215. Like getting sued all the time is a badge of honor. Exactly. Getting sued all the time is a badge of honor. Did Kamala and Tiffany profit from when they stole this guy's barbershop? I don't know. But when I get the lawsuit, what I'll do before we go online, I'm going to look up the address because I am able to get that information off of certain properties. Okay, you guys, that's it. You know, that's it. What more can we say about Tiffany? What more can I say about Tiffany? Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing. Tiffany got served during the meeting. Oh, you know what? One more thing. Tiffany might have a bench warrant out for her arrest because last meeting of Dalton Village meeting, remember we went over the meeting yesterday, just a snippet of it. She came in the meeting late, number one. She tried to hold a meeting at a different location at the village hall, but the judge already told her you cannot hold this village meeting at the village hall because it goes against the Open Meetings Act. Okay, that's one. Then two, she's trying to appoint these people illegally. She's trying to make illegal appointments. You know, that chief of police that she's trying to appoint, Barney Fife, and then two other guys. Yeah. Take your lunch bag out and put it next to the sink, okay? Do that now. Where's your book bag? Okay. So she had well, the judge threatened to put her in contempt of court, but then he said, don't test me. So I'm pretty sure the trustees went back to the judge and said, hey, she showed up for the meeting and said towards everybody, oh, this is a legal meeting. Then she tried to make these illegal appointments after they put restraining order against these illegal appointments. Okay. And then you have a restraining order. You know what? I just realized this. Okay. You have a restraining order for the lawyer, the Michael Smith, and the Barney Fife guy. Okay. But the lawyer showed up. So with the restraining order, hey, you just broke the restraining order. So Tiffany Henyard might be in contempt of court. So they might have a warrant out for her. Once the trustees, I'm pretty sure they showed the judge the tape. I don't know how fast they could get on the docket, you know, making these claims, but Tiffany might be in contempt of court or might have a warrant out for her arrest. Okay, so Tiffany might be on the run. On the run, allegedly. Bird Sr., yes, Bird Sr. Mwanda is saying Tiffany's defense will be it wasn't a quorum there, so she didn't violate the Open Meetings Act. Yeah, that is true. She could say that, but then why would you come in the other meeting saying this is a legal meeting after the judge said, hey, you better honor this meeting to be held at this other place. Okay. Johnny Lee, this 1031 East Sibley, Dalton, what's that? Is that the address to the barbershop? I don't know. Put it in chat. Justin Thompson, Burge Sr. Yeah. Isn't his first name is Roddy or something like that? I think so. Cher is saying there was a doctor lady who spent a lot to renovate the strip mall to open a food pantry and a thrift store and outreach center. Tiffany blocked it all by inspectors not improving things. Yeah, and I think Freeman had a big hand in that because I think they was trying to, first of all, I think they was trying to take that building away from Dr. What is her name? Dr. Scott. Dr. Scott. I believe that's her last name, Dr. Scott. She's a horrible person. Okay. So, you guys let me know what you think about that. Tomorrow, I didn't get a chance to talk about the UAW. They're going through some things. So tomorrow, definitely we're going to be talking about that. Definitely we'll probably be talking about Kamala Harris some more. And some more stuff that's always things that's going out there since it's really getting close to election time. So we always have news to talk about. Okay, so I'm sending all my good to you. I will talk to you tomorrow.